Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. If this is your first time tuning in, our show is going to help you question your career reality. Now, this show is for you if you're considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guest on the show will provide you with advice on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in the entertainment industry. And our guests on this show include Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony Award winners, reality TV stars, producers, directors, actors, singers, comedians, casting directors, talent managers, screenwriters, novelists, and the list goes on and on and on. If they are working professionally in show business, we are going to have them on this show to give you entertainment career advice. And what's great about this show is we make sure that our guests are at different stages of their careers, from professional, obviously being the Emmy winners and the Grammy winners and the Tony winners, all the way to the working actor, working professional, and the beginner, the people that are just getting started with their careers. We make sure that we cover all spectrums of entertainment. So that means we'll definitely have someone on the show who will be able to help you with your show business career questions, no matter what stage you're at, because we like to hear how you got started. What's going on in your life? Are you just starting out in the biz? What are your trials and tribulations? What is happening? Because other people are in the same boat as you are. So fantastic. Now, you can either listen or download any of our past shows by going to our archive page on the latalkradio.com website. And you just go to the Channel 1 link, and a drop-down box is going to appear, and you just make sure you click that Question Reality link, because when you kind of slide your mouse over, sometimes the box disappears. I don't know. It just disappears. So I discovered you got to click on it and then go real fast. And this takes you directly to our archive page. And our shows are also available to listen to on iTunes under the podcast section, Stitcher.com, and you just go and type Question Reality Radio in the search box, and there we are. Now, if you want to find out about our future guest, as you know, we've had this show for 8 years, and we are always booked 6 months to a year in advance, but we're booking now currently for November and December, so we still have some slots open. If you are working professionally in the entertainment industry and you have some projects that you want to promote, go to the official website, which is totally separate from LA Talk Radio. It's questionrealityradioshow.com. questionrealityradioshow.com. And that way you can submit to be on the show, and we'll review you and make sure that we try to book you on the show. And I also encourage you to download our new free apps for the Android phone, the iPhone, and we have a Google app, I believe. And you can listen to all of the other exciting, informative shows on LA Talk Radio. We have a ton of different types of shows. And you have to download this app because you can listen to any show, my show, 24 hours a day, any show on LA Talk Radio by getting the app. And you go to latalkradio.com, and it's located towards the bottom of the page on the right-hand side. So there you go. My goodness. Well, as we have every single week, fantastic, wonderful guests, exciting, thrilling. This week is no exception. We have a lovely gentleman on the show today. His name is Angelo Mercado Jr. And I want you to go to his website now. It's Angelo Mercado Jr. What I just said, .com. AngeloMercadoJr.com. And you can check out his website. And we're going to talk to him about, I don't know what, I I'm going to let him tell you what stage he's at, a beginner, intermediate. I don't know if he's won a Tony or an Emmy or a Grammy yet, but we'll find out what stage he feels that he is at in this point in his life. And we are going to talk to him briefly about the projects that he has right now and what he's going to be doing in the future. And then he's going to be providing career advice based on, again, his career level right now. But first, I have something really exciting. If you are a fan of Orange is the New Black that airs on Netflix, and you live in Los Angeles, great, exciting news for you. My very multi-talented friend, Veronica Vasquez from Kefi Studios, created a musical called Orange is the New Musical. And it is fantastic. It is so, so, so good. I've seen it twice now. Their initial production, it was sold out every night. And so many people were just spreading the gossip about it being so fabulous that they brought it back by popular demand. And this show is so incredible. It is eventually going to be heading to Broadway. This musical is going to be a huge, huge hit on Broadway. I'm telling you now, it's just fantastic. It's called, again, Orange is the New Musical. It's hysterically funny. And all of the actors, my gosh, they have excellent comedic timing, great singing abilities. The songs are original, and they're always performed live on stage by top-notch young musicians. And that really adds a lot of excitement and fervor to any play, but they're incredible. So lastly, what's exciting for you also is that they are currently looking for partners to help get Orange is the New Musical on the road to Broadway. So if you want to get in contact with Veronica Vasquez right now, you might be able to say that you too are going to be a big Broadway producer. So you never know. Orange is the New Musical. It's going to be playing on the following dates, and I believe at 8 p.m., but you want to check the website. It is going to be on July 1st, July 8th, July 15th, July 22nd, July 29th, August 5th, August 12th, and 19th. And the theater is the Whitefire Theater in Sherman Oaks, 13500 Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks. Go to the website, orangeisthenewmusical.com. And tickets are also on sale on brownpapertickets.com. So, oh my gosh, and I want you to call me or email me and tell me after you go see the show what you think of it, because everybody is just going to love it. I just know you will. But if you don't, I want to hear it too. It's okay. All right, let's get back to Angelo. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about Angelo. Angelo Mercado Jr., he is a native New Yorker. And Angelo discovered his passion for acting in high school when he accidentally stumbled into drama club. So we're going to find out, how did this happen? How do you stumble into drama club? I want to know. In college, Angelo continued to participate in drama club while he pursued a degree in computer science. And additional acting classes and workshops include the New York Film Academy, HB Studios, and Terry Schreiber Studios. And apparently, Mr. Mercado Jr. has wit and humor and Latin charm, and this has helped him book many roles on several television shows and films and commercials, including Do Not Disturb, Hotel Horrors, Celebrity Ghost Stories, The Hunt with John Walsh, and Frog Kissers. Oh my gosh, I love that title, Frog Kissers. I love that. I can't imagine what that possibly is about, but I love it. His lead role in the indie film Utopia Lies at the Horizon has won awards at various film festivals, including the Boxer Shorts Film Festival right here in LA, the New York Coney Island Film Festival, the Boston Latin International Film Festival, and the I believe it's pronounced Latini Film Festival in Uruguay. Wow. So without further ado, let's welcome him to the show. Hello, Angelo.
Hey, good people. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh Oh my gosh! Well, that is something. So you possess this. You possess wit, humor, and Latin charm. Is that self-proclaimed, or is that what everybody else is saying about you?
Bueno, that's a little bit of what I hear around me all the time. They say I'm witty. They say I'm charming, and of course I'm Latino. So that kind of adds to the trifecta.
Well, there you go. You can't be wrong being Latino. Latin lovers. They're known across the land. Now, let's talk about you discovering your passion for acting because of accidentally stumbling into drama club. How did that happen?
Okay, so in high school, I kind of used to hang out with a little bit of the wrong crowd. A lot of gangs were in the Bronx where I was going to school at, and the drama professor caught me hanging out in front of the school during class hours. And then he invited me to come with him to see something in one of his classrooms. I was like, sure, let's go. And then it turned out to be drama class, and he kind of showed me a little bit of what was going on there. And I kind of got bit by the bug a little bit there. And shortly after, I joined drama club.
And were you in a lot of plays?
I was.
A lot of plays?
The first thing that I did on stage was The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And then El Dorado, we kind of read those out loud in front of a big crowd. And based off of the reaction that I got that day, just like that's when I really fell in love with acting.
Now, so you were like hanging outside the school, with that Latin charm, like persuading all the mommies, hey, mommy, hey. So you were doing like so you could have very easily fallen into gangland, right? You could have become like a gang member because are you saying that that's the area you grew up in? There was a lot of gangs in your neighborhood, in your hood?
Yeah, in my hood. I went to a school where there were several gangs, and I was on friendly terms with all of them. So drama kind of helped save me from going down that sort of path.
Now, how is it? Now, I watch Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I watch all the shows that they're based in New York, and they do a lot with shows on gangs and getting hooked up in the gang and how it's hard to get in, but then it's hard to get out. How did you stay focused on not joining a gang? Because I don't know if it's true where they like try to, I don't know what that's called when they hop you in, or what is that called when they
initiation?
Initiation, but it's called something else, some slang word. At least that's what it's called on Law and Order Special Victims Unit. But they it's initiation into the gang, right? So how were you approached to be initiated into a gang at all before you discovered drama?
I was, but I was friends with several different ones in the area. And I tried to stay neutral because I didn't want to, join any specific one.
Right. So when you discovered the drama, what tools did you use to focus on drama and not get tempted by being in this gang?
Pretty much drama actually ended up taking away all of my time. What happened was that, we'd start working on a play, like The Glass Menagerie was one of the first plays that we did. And going out with my co-stars and rehearsing, going to their place, going through constant rehearsals, kind of helped keep me away from that. And then my girlfriend, who is now my wife at the time, I spent whatever free time I had left with her. So I really didn't have time to be around the gang.
You didn't have time to go burgling and thieving and racketeering and ravaging the lands, right? You were drama. Thank
drama
goodness.
Upon drama.
Thank you. You would have had drama in the gang too, but not the right kind of drama.
Right.
Now, when you went to college, you continued to participate in drama club, and you said that you were pursuing a degree in computer science. Did you end up getting your degree in computer science?
I did, because I got married at 17 years old, and then my mother was like, "Well, you have a wife now, and you need to kind of give up your hobby of becoming an actor and provide for your family." So I pursued a career in computer science. I've been working in the IT industry for a long time. Then, like 10 years later, when she got pregnant and my son was born, it's kind of when I went back into acting, because I wanted my son to be able to pursue anything that he wanted to pursue in life. But I wanted to show him by example that if you're willing to put in the work, you can do whatever you want to. And it's okay to pursue your dreams.
Absolutely. Well, your mother was right to tell you to get involved in computer science because, as you know, IT is a very lucrative profession. You can make a lot of money, and you can have hours that allow you to still participate in doing plays, at least at nighttime. I don't know how that fits into going to auditions and stuff with your job, but if you have enough skills and you have that degree in computer science, you can always work from home. That's a huge option in the IT business. And the reason I'm bringing that up is for people because I always encourage our guests to suggest jobs where where you can audition, where you have time to audition. And if you choose a career like Angelo did in computer science, it will allow you to do what's called teleworking, where you can work 2, 3, 4 days. My husband does that. He's in IT. He's a software developer, and he does what's called teleworking. So if you are young and you go, well, I want to be an actor, but I want to make sure I have plan B, pursue a career in computers. There's always going to be a need for that. And right now the trend is to do teleworking, where you can work 2, 3, 4 days a week, go into office 1 or 2 days. And when you're teleworking, you can sneak off to an audition. I just want to tell you now, because you're supposed to be at home, but as long as you take your phone, you can go to an audition and you can do work right there. So I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying you could do it because it's been done. So, Angelo,
Right.
Really fantastic idea to get that degree in computer science. Now, you went on to take acting classes and workshops at the New York Film Academy. I'm not familiar with HB Studios, but I'm familiar with Terry Schreiber Studios, very reputable company. What types of acting styles did you learn at these particular venues?
Various types. I know I took Meisner technique for a while at some of these places, and that's a skill that I kind of take with me to all of my roles. Like some of the stuff, some of the
Uta Hagen, Viola Spolin, The Method, English Mask, all that. They had a variety.
Yeah.
Okay. And which one did you find? Because these are all different. These are all techniques that, as an actor, again, this is a little advice. These are all things that you really need as your base. These are things that you need in your tool set. You need to know who Uta Hagen is if you're going to be an actor. You need to know Viola Spolin, who has wonderful theater games and games that are created to teach focus and memorization, and how to not break the fourth wall, and just things that you need as an actor. So if you're not familiar, if you're a young person, you're not familiar with these things, please go to Google Uta Hagen, Viola Spolin, wonderful books. Method Access, a lot of people haven't heard of English Mask. They don't know the difference between method acting and English Mask. Of course, everybody's heard of the Meisner technique, but these are all techniques that you need as a new actor. You need to get these under your belt. So Angelo went to these classes and he learned these things. And there's always one or maybe two that you can relate to and that really sticks with you and kind of starts to root you in your acting career. So Angelo, what were the ones that you gravitated towards, and can you explain why?
I really like the Stanislavski technique. And a little bit, and I definitely like Meisner, like the repetition I feel definitely helps me, because sometimes when you're working on a role and then, you get your lines, all of a sudden then you get a rewrite like 10 minutes before you're supposed to be on there. So kind of repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating really helps me get down what I'm supposed to say, who I am, who I'm talking to, what my goal is. But I use a mix, like a little bit of kind of everything, kind of like how Bruce Lee came up with Jeet Kune Do, which is like a little bit of like 10 different other martial arts is how I kind of attack when I'm going after a role.
Yeah, and like Angelo says, he uses a variety of them. There might be one that you really hone in on and you want to focus, and that's fine too. Whatever works for you. There's no set rules for that. When it feels right, that's the one you're going to gravitate towards, and that's what you should focus on. Now, Angelo has booked several television shows, including several roles on films, television, commercials, web series, including Do Not Disturb, as we said earlier, Do Not Disturb, Hotel Horrors, Celebrity Ghost Stories, The Hunt with John Walsh, and Frog Kissers, which I have to know what the heck is that? Now, that's a web series, but what is that about?
Okay, are you familiar with Vicky Judy from Orange is the New Black?
Of course I am.
Okay, so in Frog Kissers, it's 3 girls in New York City, and they have to kiss a bunch of different frogs before they find their prince. And I was the one who had a relationship with Vicky Judy on that series, so I was kind of her frog or her prince. You don't really know, because there's four couples there, and then the way the pilot ends, it says that one of the girls found their prince. So kind of like Sex and the City meets How I Met Your Mother.
Wow, now that sounds interesting. Where can we see Frog Kissers? Is it available on YouTube, or where would we see that?
The pilot episode is available on YouTube, but we kind of stopped filming when Vicky booked Orange, and that's just been kind of in the ether since. I followed up with the director to see what we're going to do with that, but so far, no news.
Darn it. Well, at least you got to be in the show with her. I'm going to check that out, Frog Kissers. I just love the title, so I'm going to check that out. I understand that you have been booking a lot of commercials for A&E, Slim Fast, Food Network commercial. I love the Food Network. Most of the shows that I have on our Food Network, I'm obsessed with all the chefs. I'm a foodie. I love the Food Network. So what was the commercial about that you did for the Food Network channel?
It's actually several different spots for promoting the series Cooks versus Cons.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, what did you?
So,
what did you do? Were you on there?
I was. I'm doing the promos for the show. I'm not one of the chefs that cook in the show. In the promo, we have 4 different people, and based off of the character that we're assigned, you kind of have to guess whether we're a cook or whether we're a con.
Right.
So we did several different versions where one of them I am a cook, another one I'm a police officer, and then we switched different dishes. It's also going to be a print campaign. It's going to be advertised all over social media. It's a huge campaign to promote Cooks versus Cons.
Well, it already aired. I watched this season. I watched it last season. It's about to come back, I think, in July.
We're promoting season 2.
Okay. Oh, so were you involved with season 1, or you're doing for season 2?
The promo is strictly for season 2.
Oh, woo-hoo. I'm excited. Oh, that's fantastic. I love the show. I know it's going to be a huge hit. It's really, really, really good. So now let's talk about commercials, because I don't really believe, thinking back, that I get too many actors who've done a lot of commercials. It looks like you're doing pretty well on the commercial front. So why don't you talk us through, for people who've never booked a commercial, what's the process like? How it's different from booking, say, a drama or a comedy or a film or a television show. How is it different booking a commercial? What are the differences?
The process is the same. The only difference really is the turnaround. Because I'll audition tomorrow for a commercial, then the callback is on Wednesday, and by Friday we're already filming.
Wow. And it usually takes one day for that, right? For a commercial?
Pretty much, yeah. Just a one-day shoot. So I've been in commercial shoots for like Comedy Central, where I was only on set for 2 hours max. Then I did one for DuPont, where I was there for like 18, 19 hours for just one day's worth of work.
Woo! I know. That's usually a film day, 18, 19 hours.
Right.
That's usually film, so that's really shocking to be on a commercial that long. That's one of the benefits for people who they want to be an actor, but they want it to be more, because there are several different kinds of actors, but there are the actors who love the art and the craft, and they're just so into the character, and they choose to be an actor because of the love of being different characters. Then you have another kind of actor who is like, you know what? I don't want to work a Monday through Friday 9-to-5 job. I want to be on the big screen. So I'm going to be that kind of actor. So give me my script and let me do the role, and then I'm leaving. So, you have that kind of actor. And then there are different types more, which I won't get into, but if you're looking to be an actor and you want to do it professionally just to make the money, and you want to make a lot of money and have other activities, commercials and voiceovers are for you, because especially if you're a voiceover actor, it is a phenomenal, lucrative job. You can book a job, go in 45 minutes, you're out of there, you're done for the day. You can make like $1,000. There are people been on my show who've made $1,500 for 45 minutes. Then there are other people who've made $450 for 45 minutes. So there's union and non-union. So anyway, if you want to be an actor and you want to do it because you think it would be interesting, you like the time schedule, and you want to make really good money, commercials and voiceover acting is for you. And so there you go. Commercials are fantastic. It's a great job.
I feel like no matter what type of actor you want to be, you should not avoid commercials, because being an actor is expensive. You need to pay for classes, you need to pay for headshots. And commercials are the way to kind of earn some money to help pay for these classes and all these other things you need to pay for.
Angelo, I am so glad you brought that up. That is perfect advice. That is such phenomenal advice. That I'm just so glad you said that, because doing voiceover work and commercials and background work, which I do not like people to scoff at. I do not want anyone to ever scoff at being a background actor, because if you are smart, if you talk to Robert De Niro, if you talk to Bill Duke, if you talk to David Schwimmer, if you talk to any of these actors who I've talked to, and they say, you know what, you're a fool if you don't start as a background actor, because that is where you learn the tools of the trade. That's where you can observe the environment. And it's safe for you, because you're just a background actor, and you're like, the director is not going to ream you out unless you do something crazy. But you learn what the set etiquette is. You learn what the relationships are like. You learn how to navigate. So anybody who, there's a saying, there are no small parts, only small actors, and that's small-minded to think that being a background actor is a nothing job, because that will make you a lot of money. You will learn, you will become friends with the production people, you will become familiar with the directors and the producers. It is the smart way to go to start out as a background actor. So consider that as well. And as Angelo said, doing commercials and voiceover, you need money. It is very expensive to be an actor. Headshots cost money. You got to have them updated constantly. You got to have your resume, which you can pretty much do yourself. But Angelo, what are some other things that you have to buy as an actor? I mean, it's expensive. Oh, your classes and your workshops, which are not cheap, right?
You're right, and your website, your online promotional materials.
Yeah, it's a lot. So being a background actor, doing commercials and voiceover, that's how you're going to pay to keep your career going. So thank you very much for that, Angelo. Now, you worked with a well-respected man in the entertainment industry. I mean, huge. He's beloved by so many people, Joel Schumacher. And you worked with him on Do Not Disturb Hotel Horrors. First of all, what was your role? And what did you like most about working on the film? And what did you learn about him in particular? Or any funny stories you can share?
Well, Do Not Disturb is a series on investigation, well, mini-series for Investigation Discovery, where it's kind of like one of the reenactment shows, but it's taken to like a whole nother level. It's scripted reenactment, so there's actually acting involved. He was the director and executive producer for this miniseries. It was only maybe 3 episodes, and just working with him was really great, just because it's Joel Schumacher. And some of the stories that he told when he was working with a lot of the actors who nobody knew at the time. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is The Lost Boys. And Kiefer Sutherland was an unknown at the time. Really, nobody wanted to work with him. Nobody wanted to give him the chance. But Joel saw something in him, and he said, I want to give this guy a shot. He brought him in, and he did an amazing job in the role on that movie, and then his career just kind of blew up from there.
Absolutely. So what was your role on Do Not Disturb Hotel Horrors?
I played Father Ramon Martinez, who was a beloved priest in New Orleans back in like the late 70s, but there was some secrets to him that people didn't know about. Like he was in the closet about being gay. And at the time, being a priest especially, that was very frowned upon. So he lived this sort of double life. And he ended up meeting a male prostitute that he picked up. He took him back to his hotel room, and then the male prostitute ended up murdering him, stabbed him 57 times in his hotel room.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, boy. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that required some drama. You had to incorporate your techniques from the training that you got in the HB Studios or the Terry Schreiber Studios for that.
Most definitely.
Now, did Joel Schumacher direct that?
He directed it, yeah.
Okay. What did you feel? What did you learn most from being on this project? What did you learn about being an actor from anything that he used in his directing style? Did you learn something new? What did you learn? Or how was he different from any other director that you worked with?
Just his level of professionalism. And just from watching him work, you can tell that, this guy's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. There's like no fumbling. There's just this confidence that he has when he gives a direction. He knows it's going to work, and you just put all of your faith in him knowing that. So when he says, do it this way, you don't start second-guessing him or yourself.
He inspires the confidence. Whereas when you work with, some first-time directors, you go, "Oh my gosh, what the heck is he talking about? He doesn't know what to do." There's disorganization. So that must have been such an honor for you to work with Joel Schumacher.
Definitely. And sometimes directors, no matter how great they are, they have trouble relating to the actor. And Joel was just very down to earth, and you could kind of tell that he gets it. He's not only looking at things from a director's perspective, he's also looking at it from an actor's perspective.
And that's very important, very important. Now, you are a huge comic book, or as they say in Jersey, huge! You are a huge comic book enthusiast, and I understand that you dream of someday playing a lead role in a movie or a television show about a superhero. Is that true?
That is totally true. I love my comic books to death. Ever since I was a little kid, comic books were just kind of my way of escaping, the pressures of reality. I can just pick up a book and for like a good half hour just, see the world through the eyes of Captain America or Superman.
Is that who's your favorite superhero?
It's a toss-up between Captain America and Spider-Man.
Ah. Now, there have been several actors playing Spider-Man and Superman. Who's your favorite?
Christopher Reeve, to me, is like the definitive Superman.
I
I love Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Henry Cavill, like he's very pretty.
Oh my God!
But
don't say it! Don't even say it! I can't stand. He's a beautiful man. Now, I definitely would invite him home for a cocktail, but I would never cast him in anything ever, especially not Superman. I've just said it. Don't send me any emails, people. I just tell it like it is. I am so, and you know what, Angelo, I saw him on an interview on the Graham Norton show, who is the best talk show host ever in the history. There is no one else but Graham Norton. And do you believe that he said on the show, and I can't remember verbatim what he said, but basically he said, I think Graham Norton said, "So why did you decide to play Superman? Why did you decide to accept the role?" And he said, "For the paycheck." That's what he said, and he was serious as a heart attack. And it comes across in his lack of acting. I want to stab him in the eye because I just can't stand this man portraying Superman. It's just a disgrace. It's a disgrace that someone would cast him as Superman. I mean, good. He's a nice guy. I'm sure he's a wonderful person, but not as Superman. I've never seen him in anything else, but not Superman ever again. Ever, ever, ever. Did you see that movie, Batman versus Superman? Was it? Yeah, Superman versus Batman. It just came out. We went to see that. Oh, my gosh. I just couldn't stand it, Angelo. Oh, my gosh. I was going crazy.
Yeah, I felt really let down with that movie.
Oh, I was just, and the thing is that I have groups that go 15 people, and every time a movie comes out, a superhero movie, because my husband is a huge superhero fan. So we go to see these movies. I had invited 15 people. That was 15 people to come out that night. And they were all so nice. They're like, "Oh, yeah, it was good." They didn't want to make me feel bad because they wanted another movie, and I chose that one. Oh my God, let's move on with it. It's just upsetting me. I gotta drink a cocktail. I gotta fix myself a wild turkey, Angelo.
Well, one thing about that movie was that I was one of those people who was hating when I heard that Ben Affleck was cast as Batman. But I think he did a good job.
I know.
I think he did a good job.
I know. He did all right, and I am not a Ben Affleck fan at all. I'm like, oh God, not Ben Affleck. No, not in anything, nothing. But he didn't do too bad in this role. I got to give him some props on this one. I wasn't hating him in this one, so it was all right.
Yeah.
Now, last question on this: if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I would love to be able to teleport because commuting here in New York is terrible.
Me too! In LA! I always say I wish I had the power to beam. For me, it's like a Star Trek beaming somewhere. So I guess that's teleporting. Yes! Oh, we should see New York and LA. You definitely want a teleport machine. Oh my gosh. So, real quick, because we are coming up, we got 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure that I get any projects. Wait a minute. Now, you aspire to work with your all-time two favorite actors, Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, and that would be a dream for any actor, I imagine. And I understand that you have a funny story, a behind-the-scenes story. My audience loves behind-the-scenes stories, funny things that you don't know about. So I understand that you have a funny story to tell us, that you briefly, when you worked on The Intern, you had an encounter with Robert De Niro hitting you in the back with a door. Tell us about that funny story.
Well, I was a background guy for the intern.
Yeah.
And this was in between takes. So a couple of us guys are standing in front of this like staircase, and it's between takes, so we're not expecting anything. We're just chatting. Then the next thing I know, I'm getting hit really hard in the back of the head. And then I turn around, and then Robert De Niro's arms are on my shoulder saying, "Oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry."
Wow! Oh, and you didn't incorporate your acting skills and drop to the floor and act like you were dying so he could talk to you further. Oh, that was so nice. So he put his hand on your shoulders and he was really concerned.
Yeah, well, I was a little starstruck, so I didn't say anything for a little bit. So he thought like maybe I had a little damage to happen.
Yeah, you were
to the
shocked. Oh no!
I'm like, no, you're Robert De Niro.
Oh my gosh, that was great! Oh, I'm surprised they didn't throw a little extra money in your paycheck for that one, because you could have had a concussion and your acting career could have ended. You could have gone into a coma and that would have been it. Poor Robert De Niro would have felt terrible. Well, that's a funny story. So did you see him later on, on the set when did you have any scenes with him, or were you in scenes without him?
I was in scenes without him. It was just pretty much shots of just the street to like environmental, to get that environment feeling. But I ran into him a few months later.
Oh, you did? Oh, tell us.
I ran into him a few months later in Tribeca before the film festival. And then I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, Mr. De Niro, I'm not sure if you remember me." He's like, "I remember you. I hit you in the back of the head with a door, didn't I?"
That's fantastic! Oh, that's great! He remembered you. Now that is wonderful. I love that. But then again, how many people does he hit in the back of the head with a door? So you'll probably be a story that he tells for a very long time. You're a story now. He will always remember you. That's really super cool. I love it. I love it. So real quick, what are some of your upcoming projects?
Trying my hand at producing. I'm helping produce a play. Can't really say the name of it yet. Contracts and whatnot, everything hasn't gone through yet. But yeah, I'm trying to see what happens there. And I have several pretty big auditions for series regular roles on the USA Network and the CW.
Fantastic. Oh, I'm excited for you. Oh my God. Now, what was your first job in show business, and how did you get the job? What was it? It was background acting, which is the right way to go, everybody. You started in background acting, right? Good for you. Good for you.
I started in background and then made friends with some of the people there. Then a couple of months later, one of them was working on a short film, and they remembered me from, being on set with them and as a background actor, and they just kind of offered me the role. And it was a short film called My Terms, where I played a man who was recently diagnosed with cancer, and he decides that he's not going to let cancer define him, that he's going to live life on his own terms. And it has a pretty shocking ending.
Isn't that something? See, again, do you see what happened to Angelo? He's working as a background actor, and look what happened. I cannot tell you the opportunities that had fallen into my lap as being a background actor, because I loved it. I loved it because I moved out here to be a producer, which I ended up being, and I produce feature film and short film and web series. I have my own production company. But I said, I met Dudley Moore. I was very fortunate to meet him before I moved here to Los Angeles. And he told me, I said, "What advice can you give me? I'm moving to LA. I'm going to be getting taking classes at UCLA in film and directing and producing." And he said, become a background actor. That's what Dudley Moore told me. He said, become a background actor. That's the best education that you will get. If you want to start out a career in acting, be a background actor. That's all I need to say, and you'll understand why. The opportunities that will come to you if you play your cards right and you're professional and you always maintain the set etiquette. And he was so true. I mean, I could tell you stories galore, but background acting is fantastic. So please, 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 if you are a beginning actor, not meaning that you're young, you can be old, but start out in background acting. Now, what shocking surprises have you had in your career so far?
Well, when I booked the Hotel Horrors, I actually didn't know that Joel Schumacher was involved in the project. I auditioned for it, and then I booked it, and then I was on the phone with one of the producers, and they was like, "Oh, the director loves you. He says you have this great energy, that you're very edgy with this like amazing vulnerability." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." And then she says, "Oh, this is a great director." And they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, whatever." And then when I get on set, I see him walking in, and I'm like, "Wait, that guy looks familiar." And then he comes up to me and says, "Hey, Angelo, great to meet you. I'm Joel Schumacher." And then when he said Joel Schumacher, I was like, "What? Joel? Wait, who?"
Right.
So that was a really great surprise for working on that.
What type of jobs do you recommend to supplement your income while you're pursuing a career as an actor? And we talked briefly about being a background actor, doing voiceovers and commercials. Anything besides a waiter or a waitress that you can recommend? Again, we're talking about New York, because Angelo is in New York. Like dog walking, I think, is something that's popular in New York. Being a nanny.
Dog walking. Babysitting, yeah, those are great. Working a career in IT is great, but I find that temp agencies, I feel like, are awesome because you can get a steady paycheck and then you can just take a day off or two to work on your projects without having to worry about anything. I was working as a network security administrator at a pretty large hedge fund, but the hours were just way too demanding. So I decided that I wanted to start freelancing. I started working with a temp agency, and then with them I do, 3-month project here, a couple of months there, a week here. And that allows me the flexibility to say, hey, I'm not coming in for a week. And I have to worry about the consequences of, like the big corporate jobs that I had before. So temp agencies, I think, are great.
Oh, yeah. That's very, very good point. And the last questions for anybody who wants to move to New York or LA. I'm going to say, let's focus on New York now. Pretty much the same thing. Please do not go to New York if you don't have any money saved, and don't come to LA either. That is my advice. What are some things that a person needs to know, Angelo, before they move to New York to pursue a career as an actor? Give me some inside scoops as a New Yorker.
Besides money, relationships are key. Relationships are the biggest thing in this industry. So what I started doing is I've been looking into going to LA for a little bit, and I've been doing some research on who the big casting directors are over there, the series that I like watching, who's casting these series, like for instance, like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes out in LA. So I'm looking at who the producers are, who the casting directors are, and then I'm sending them postcards. I'm sending them emails. I'm just constantly updating them with things that I'm working on, things that I'm doing. So by the time I get over there, they already know who I am. So when I started doing a workshop, I was there last week, and I did a workshop with one casting director, and like in the middle of class, she comes up to me in front of everybody. She goes, "Wait a minute, I know you. Are you Angelo Mercado from New York?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then she's like screaming like, "Oh my God, I get your postcards every month. It's so great to finally meet you."
I am so glad that you said that. A lot of people think that postcards are antiquated. Let me tell you, I have lots of casting director friends, lots, and they always tell me how much they appreciate getting a card from an actor telling, "Hey, I'm in this play, come see me. Hey, I'm going to be in this project. Here's the website address." It is very important, and Angelo is doing it. So, who was the casting director, by the way?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, well, I wanted to know if it was a friend of mine. See, you could have had I could have put in a good word for you, but if you're not going to tell me, there you go. All right. You're missing an opportunity. All right, sweetie. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say to your fans before you go?
I love all the support that you guys give me. You guys really mean the world to me, and there are times when I'm feeling down, like everybody does. You start to self-doubt. They constantly help pick me back up, whether it's a post on Twitter or a text message or just some great project I see that they're doing, kind of helps rebuild my faith. And I just want to say thank you to everybody in my network, and I love all you guys.
There you go. Angelo Mercado Jr. Go to his website, Angelo. Woo, that's a mouthful. AngeloMercadoJr.com. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Question Reality. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.